What's going on, Team Crimson? We got another deck profile. This time we got Pendulum Magicians. So post Electrum being at 1. So
nerf
hurts. Yeah, it's pretty hard nerf. But the deck is still pretty competitive. I don't feel as though it's changed a whole lot. Obviously, if you're playing like the Super Pendulum Turbo deck where you make 3 Electromites,
kind of got shit on.
This feels bad, but just pure Pendulum Magicians, it's not too bad of a hit, but obviously yeah, it hurts, but the deck is still really strong. I wouldn't be surprised to see it top in like in some fashion or anything. And it's super cheap now as well, so
yeah.
like, yeah, it's another deck where I think it's a really good deck to pick up for cheap. So yeah, I'll get right into it. So it hasn't changed a whole lot since the last one that I did, but yeah, so 3 Wisdom Eye, 3 Harmonizing, so you really need these at 3. 1 and 1 of that, because they don't really do anything except go on your scale. 2 Oath Dragon, because he's one of the best cards, like you want him in your scale almost more than anything. And then the Jonky to summon off Harmonizing to still do the Odd Eyes thing, obviously. So yeah, that's it for like the core Magician cards.
So where you have the 1 purple poison, are you just accepting that you lose to anti-spell?
You can still get to the purple poison, but
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like I'm running other draw cards and stuff, but it's not like. Yeah, usually you are going to lose the anti-spell.
Well, that's really, that's the game we play,
that's
man.
Just pendulums in general. You just kind of lose the anti-spell, but not as many people are playing it now, which is good. So the chronograph thing, the mythical beast thing, and 3 this year. This hasn't changed since the last pendulum profile. You still just want to make the Electromite like for free if you can. So yeah. Yeah, these are just pretty standard. So I've got 3 Dark Worm and 2
donuts
of the donut. Yeah, so again, this hasn't changed, and then this is different since the last one. 3 Bunbuku and 1 Nekomata, because these kind of serve the same purpose as Dark Worm, where you can normal summon Bunbuku and immediately search for either this or another Bunbuku. So it's just like a plus card, kind of. So it's like it replaces itself in your hand and gives you a Pendulum monster on field, and as well as giving you a monster to put in your scale. So yeah, that's kind of the only purpose. And you can make Totem Bird with it, which is really good. And yeah, that's it for the monsters. I'm not playing hand traps because it's Pendulum. And yeah, so I'm running a handful of spells. Allure instead of Desires. Because I just feel like Allure is more worth now. Obviously, you run like a shitload of dark monsters, so it's good. But I like Allure more than Desires now.
Don't banish your Jonky.
A little bit, yeah. And there's a nice few 1-ofs now that I don't really want to banish. And so the Dragon Shrine and Foolish for the Dark Worm, and then 2 Pendulum Call because you want to search for your Pendulum monsters. And yeah. So that's it for the main deck. It hasn't changed a whole lot since the last one, but there's a couple little changes. And I'll do the extra deck. So I've got Firewall because I didn't ban it. Boral Sword because it's really good, super easy to make as well. Metaltron for the Odd Eyes thing. Summon Sorceress is broken in Pendulums. The 1 Electromite and the 1 of this. This is the God card, man. Land Linkus or whatever it's called, man. This card is broke.
Proxy.
It is like this card is actually better. Insane. Like this card's crazy.
Generic 2 down arrows.
Yeah, and then 1 Omega, which is at 1 now, but whatever. You only run 1 anyway. 1 of him because he's really good going second. The Odd Eyes thing. Naruto, Tornado Dragon, Exiton Knight now, which I can run is really nice. Time Star and Totem Bird. So yeah, not a whole lot of changes. Electromite is kind of just like a bonus. Like you don't need it to play or anything. You can play without the Electromite, but yeah, obviously it's nice to have it. And still having 1 is really good. So yeah, nah, I don't think, like, pendulums aren't going anywhere. I think they're still at the same level as they were before the ban list. It just lost a little of its, you can't really...
Explosivity.
Yeah, like when you... Explosiveness.
Sure.
When you,
I don't know.
you can't really go off and make 3 electromites anymore. Well, you can't, period, but then you just need to make use of your rank 4s and your extra deck monsters that aren't electromite a little more. So in general, pendulums, still really good. Yeah, so it's going to do it for Pendulum Magicians. Stay tuned for more. Like, subscribe. Peace.